Are we living in the end times? Many Christians believe that the mark is revealed by the number 666, as according to Revelation, which teaches that after the midpoint of the tribulation, all men and women will be ordered to bow down before the image of the beast and worship him. Those who do not receive the mark of the beast won't be able to buy, sell, trade. Basically, this will identify them as worshipers of the beast. All those without the mark of the beast will be killed. There's going to be a lot going on that hasn't happened quite yet, but this book lays out that we are living in Revelation, and that once we see these things happen, then we know that we're closer to Jesus Christ's reappearance. This was a part of the book that really struck me as odd. Babylon will again become Satan's headquarters for a short time, serving as the governmental and commercial capital of the world during the first half of the tribulation. Then after the kings of the earth destroyed religious Babylon, near the middle of the tribulation, Satan will move his religious headquarters from Rome to Babylon. Did you guys know that Satan's headquarters was in Rome? I didn't know that. This was interesting to me right here, setting the stage for the second 3.5 year period called the Great Tribulation. Now, me personally, as a Christian, as a Bible believer, and a Jesus believer, a Christian person that was raised Catholic, I do believe that the Vatican has a lot of secrets. I believe that if you really wanted to figure out where a lot of the actual information about Jesus and God would be hidden, would be in the Vatican. I truly believe that. I believe that they have a lot of knowledge that's hidden, and they know much more than they let on. And to think that Satan's headquarters would be in Rome, that blows my mind. And from what I know, I did not know that Babylon would have to be rebuilt. So, people who actually believe in the tribulation, chime in here. Did you know this? And to think the importance of Babylon is that it not only mentioned 280 times in the Bible, more than any city other than Jerusalem. It talked about how it basically is the template for all these other nations around it. It says long before the word for it had been coined, socialism had been a Babylonian philosophy for the conduct of government, commerce, and religion. Most of the governments that followed it adopted many of its policies, a form of organized living independent of God. Babylon is where Satan located his headquarters and began his centuries-old battle against God for the conquest of the souls of men. It was there that the seeds were planted for all the major religions of the world. That really took me out, because I was like, holy cow. When they say religion is an opium of the masses, it is truly an opium of the masses. If you make people, you give them enough and you control them, they will do whatever, because they truly believe that, they'll punish, they'll burn in hell. Some people, they do all of the rituals of the religion, and it keeps them docile. It keeps them in a box that is easier to control. And the fact that they're talking about Babylon being a socialistic state, just look at where we are in the world today. Where capitalism is falling apart here in America. We're in late stage capitalism where people are not having money to buy anything. And I did this in a video on my YouTube channel where I talk about how they don't care if you can't buy, because eventually it will just be a matter of serfdom, and the rich, the elite, you will be working to just sustain yourself. It's going to be a socialistic system, very similar to that of like Sweden, where you work, you get taxed really hard. All that money goes back into the system. They say to, take care of our streets and roads and children and education and healthcare. But really, essentially what it is you will never be able to get ahead. The people who have the wealth will continue to have the wealth. And this is a system that is going to happen to have the mark of the beast, where you can't do nothing unless you have some sort of tie to that system, i.e. we see it with real ID, people being afraid of that. You see it with people thinking we're going to be chipped. It doesn't even need to be chipped. It just needs to be that you have no other alternative in order to survive. Anyway, this book was really mind-blowing. I suggest you go look into it if you want to read it. But I just wanted to share those parts that really kind of stood out to me. Anyways, have a great day. Think for yourself.